Retirement may be one of the biggest worries for most Singaporeans, and yet just 34% of Singaporeans rate their retirement preparedness as good, while another 27% don't even have a plan. Even for myself, after doing a fair bit of research on retirement, I still can't shake the feeling that I might be missing on something, because as the saying goes, you don't know what you don't know. That's why I decided to ask Kelvin, one of the partners I'm working with, to help review my retirement plans, because they recently came out with the retirement planning service. It's a free review, so I figured, why not? And no, this video is not sponsored by them, but I figured if their review helped me uncover some blind spots, it might help you too. So here's what I found out from the review, and honestly, there were a few things that really surprised me. So right at the start of the review, I was asked this simple question by Kelvin: what does retirement mean to you? And that kind of stumped me. I guess like so many of us, we are so caught up with our work and responsibilities that we don't even stop to think about how we actually want to live, much less the retirement life that we want to have 20 to 40 years down the road. But if given the chance, what would that look like? Would you be traveling the world, spending more time with family, or maybe enjoying a slower pace, stress-free lifestyle? This question may sound impossible or even silly at first, but it's actually the most pivotal part of your financial journey. Because by knowing what your dream retirement looks like in the first place, only then will you be able to start planning towards it. Quick pause. If you're looking for the best brokers to kickstart your investing journey, check out Interactive Brokers. You will enjoy one of the lowest fees in the industry at just 35 cents per trade on the US stock market. It also offers Ireland domicile ETFs, perfect for saving on dividend withholding taxes. Plus, it also comes with free company research tools, so you can make smarter investing decisions. Feel free to use my Interactive Brokers link to open an account and start investing today. Alright, let's get back to the video. After that, the next question Kelvin asked me was, how much money will I be planning to spend during retirement? If you are clueless what that number is, there is plenty of data for this online. For example, OCBC estimates your monthly retirement expenses can range anywhere between $2,725 to $6,150 depending on your lifestyle. DBS thinks it can be lower than that. There's even an official number by the government on how much the elderly spend on average. From there, you can take any of these numbers that suit you and figure out what's the total amounts that you need for retirement. For that, one very quick and dirty way to calculate is to use something called the rule of 375. So what the rule of 375 does is that it allows you to estimate the size of the nest egg that you will need today in order to sustain whatever monthly spending requirements that you have throughout a 30-year retirement. And incidentally, it somewhat matches the average life expectancy for someone retiring in their 60s. This rule of 375 is based on a well-known retirement planning guideline called the 4% rule. And it also makes a rough allowance for tax at 20%. Now, obviously, tax is not so much of an issue during retirement, especially in Singapore. So rather than taxes, you can think of it as giving you an additional 20% buffer for any unexpected expenses. So let's say you have worked through your ideal retirement and you figure out that you will need $3,000 a month to achieve it. Then you simply multiply this amount by 375. In this example, you will get $1,125,000. That is the nest egg that you will need to achieve your ideal retirement. However, since everyone's idea of essential spending is different, stereotyping through a quick approach is just a rough gauge at best and is highly inaccurate, since it doesn't account for the more granular details such as changing needs over your retirement life and the impact of inflation before and after your retirement. Instead, one better approach that Kelvin uses is to find out the current expenditure, the expenses that are no longer needed during retirement, such as income tax and children, while also factoring in additional items that you are likely to have in retirement, such as travels and car ownership. Then at the same time, incorporate elements like CPF, investments, the effects of inflation, market risk, and even healthcare into the retirement plan. For example, in my case, based on the numbers that I've provided, it showed that I could actually run out of money in my late 80s. And if I were to retire at 55, the situation would be even worse, as I would first run out of savings right after I retire, all the way till CPF life kicks in at 65. Then my money would run out again when I turn 79. So what did Kelvin suggest to me to fix this issue? Unlike most financial advisors that I've met who would immediately be like, oh, here, sign up for this fantastic ILP that will give you fabulous returns. Kelvin didn't start by selling some plans to me. Instead, they suggested that I should first consider topping my CPF to beyond the full retirement sum to cater to my essential spending. The reason is simple. CPF Life is actually a very good hedge against longevity risk and investing risk. as it will give you a consistent monthly payouts no matter how long you live. This is especially useful given that Singapore is in the blue zone where people live exceptionally long lives due to their naturally healthy lifestyles. So in the future, there could be a good likelihood that our average lifespan would continue to go up well into the 90s. However, having CPF Life alone isn't enough as the funds in there are illiquid, and as much as we want to think that CPF is risk-free, it does come with policy risk where there's a small chance that CPF might change how it works in the future, especially given that people are living longer than expected in the long term. Because of that, Haven also suggested I consider ways to increase my monthly income, especially to cover essential expenses. While commonly known options like bonds and fixed deposits are considered low risk, they require ongoing decision making, such as when to reinvest, managing fluctuation interest rates, and structuring a consistent income. All of this can become mentally draining, especially when what I really want is a simple, stress-free retirement. So if I want to make things simpler, I could look at alternative retirement income products like private annuities. These insurance-based plans offer reliable, regular payouts, which can give me a predictable stream of income. Unlike market-linked instruments, they are less exposed to volatility, and unlike fixed deposits, they do not require me to constantly reallocate capital. And while these are definitely not as attractive as CPF Life, they can give me the flexibility that I need, especially if I plan to retire before 65. As for my discretionary spending, they can come from my investment income, which may be volatile, but may have the ability to give high return and hedge against inflation risk. That way, even if the market does badly over the short term, it wouldn't affect me much as my essential expenses are already being taken care of. And if the market does well over the long term, they will give me the upside that I need to maintain or even upgrade my lifestyle during retirement. Now, no matter how sui you plan your retirement, there's one major risk that can potentially derail everything, and that is healthcare risks. So to hedge against that, during our working years, we will need to protect ourselves with insurance such as critical illness plans, term life and health insurance. This is to help safeguard our income and wealth in case we fall ill or become unable to work, since we are still in the process of accumulating our wealth and we have dependents to provide for. Then once we retire, since we are no longer relying on our jobs and instead depend on passive income to fund our daily expenses, the two most important types of insurance that we will need is health insurance to cover our medical bills and long-term care insurance, also known as CareShield Life. Personally, I've only gotten the most basic CareShield Life, which is definitely insufficient. According to the Ministry of Health, 1 in 2 healthy Singaporeans aged 65 could become severely disabled in their lifetime. If that happens, the average monthly cost of long-term care is about $2,952. This includes paying for medication, transport, caregiving, as well as any home changes to cater to your mobility or safety needs. Because of that, Haven recommended that I should upgrade my CareShield Life plan as soon as possible to lock in the premiums now, something which I intend to do with Haven soon. Also, here's a tip: whether you are approaching retirement or already retired, given that healthcare needs evolve all the time, it's always good to review your medical insurance coverage. Doing so can help to reduce your monthly insurance premiums while also lowering the retirement income that you need. But more importantly, it also ensures that major costs such as hospital stays or long-term care can be taken care of by insurance instead of coming out of your retirement money. All in all, the Haven Core Assessment did give me better clarity on my retirement plans on things such as whether I'm on track to my retirement goal, what insurance is essential during my retirement, and so on. And whether or not you do the core assessment with Haven, it is always important to review your retirement plan, because retirement isn't just a dream. By planning, strategizing, and preparing, only then would you be able to make your retirement dream a reality. But without a clear financial plan and taking the active steps needed to achieve it, the gap between where you are now and your version of that $1 million might just feel impossible. So don't just dream of the good life, actively plan for it, because every financial decision that you take today, whether it's saving the extra $10 or topping up your CPF or getting that insurance plan, has the potential to bring you closer to that dream. After all, tomorrow isn't just a new day, it is your retirement dream waiting to become a reality.